All right. Hmm. So as usual, I'm bringing in today the work that I've been doing myself this past week, and I'm still on this theme of non-efforting, and this like, what does it mean to almost that relaxing back of not trying, of just letting it be what it is. And I was reading this morning and came across this phrase that just kind of like stuck in my head, and it was choiceless awareness. And I'm like, choiceless awareness? What on earth is this? But it's that sense of that I'm simply aware. There are no choices to make. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing for me to solve or fix or do. But it's an awareness that is choiceless. It is simply just aware. And, if you're anything like me, it's like, yeah, right. That kind of just sitting there open, just being it feels elusive. It's one of those things that it's just not like my brain just doesn't work that way. My brain is always making choices. My brain is always thinking and figuring out things. I have no real grasp on what this choiceless awareness could actually be. And so last time, or a couple weeks ago, we'd played around with just kind of that non-effort, just letting it stop. And that's difficult. It's really difficult to just let things stop sometimes. And then came across a different exercise where it was really this really intense, focused breathing first, and then that letting go into just nothing. I have nothing to do. And I found for myself that this actually was much easier for me to do. There was something about really like focus, like hyper focused awareness on the breath, that when I just let go into there's nothing to do, it just kind of opened up. It's almost kind of like you get bouncing on a trampoline. You bounce down high enough, just like poof, okay, there it is. Instead of just rather than just trying to make me not effort or just let it be what it is. So that's what I'd kind of like to play with you guys today, is this really controlling the breath first and then letting it go into just being. There's nothing to do. There's nothing for you to actually try to make your brain do or not do. You simply just get to watch. Watch the thoughts, watch the emotions, watch the physical sensations or not, or just be there. With this breathing that we're going to do, it's pretty controlled. So whenever I do controlled breathing, number one is always, always, always pay attention to your body. Listen to your body first, me last. So it's always follow your own body's directions. No passing out, please. That's just not good for anybody. With that said, experiment, play, see if you can find your edge as like, what's on the edge of feeling comfortable and what's on the edge of not. So if I'm doing some paced breathing and you're like, oh, I need to stop for a minute. Okay. And then come back into it. And then come back into the pacing. Or if you need to change your pacing a little bit, go ahead and do that. The thing with paced breathing is it makes your diaphragm work. So it's like you actually have to contract and slow down the movement of your diaphragm in a different way for that paced breathing. So the diaphragm is that big muscle that's attached to the bottom of your ribs. And when you inhale, it contracts and pulls down. And when you exhale, it floats back up. For myself, I notice when I'm doing paced breathing on the inhale, I have to be really, really slow on that inhale at the very beginning in order to last all the way to the end of the count. So normally on my breath, my normal inhale would be like that's 2 counts, 3 counts. So if I want to extend that to a 4 or a 5 or even a 6 count, I have to really, really almost just like contract that muscle and just like pull it slowly down as I inhale. And then with the exhale, it's almost the opposite for me, where I have to let more air out early and then just kind of control it so that my exhale can match the paced breathing. So there's going to be a lot of paying attention and figuring out, just watching, adjusting, noticing your breathing pattern as we're doing this. That's all good. So it's like, in one sense, it really helps narrow that focus down. It really, really laser tight focus on this diaphragm, controlling it to breathe in a particular pattern so that the breathing is all the way through the count, and then exhaling all the way through the count. And I'm thinking we're going to do a few rounds of this. So we'll do some paced breathing and then just that letting go. I'm just sitting there. And then we'll do another round of paced breathing and just letting go. I'm just sitting there, seeing what happens. So with that, we'll go ahead and play. All right. So as we begin, we'll start with our normal, just checking in with our breathing. That beginning to just get comfortable in your body, comfortable in your breath. Noticing the inhale and the exhale just as it is right now in this moment. There's no forcing. You don't have to make your breath look any particular way right now. Just that reacquaintance. Like, oh, hello, breath. There you are. Feeling the movement of air in your chest. The rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. Noticing those little movements around the ribs, in the front of the chest at the sternum. Everything kind of pulls up and out on the inhale, relaxing back down with the exhale. And then feeling into the sides, noticing how the ribs can pull out to the sides, one to each side. And then relaxing back down with the exhale. And then even noticing your back and how that back can expand and press down into the chair behind you. Even as you breathe and open towards the front of your body. And then lastly, feeling that up and down movement of your breath. As you inhale, the diaphragm pulls down and you can feel the pressure going down into your belly. Filling all the way up to your collarbones. And then as you relax with the exhale, the diaphragm floats back up. And it all comes right back there to the center of your chest. And as we begin, taking that quick scan through your body, again, just that checklist, just noticing what's present right now. Scan from your head down to your feet, noticing where there might be tension or relaxation or tightness or discomfort, or hot or cool. Just noticing the state of your body right now in this moment. And then just a quick check in with the thoughts and how you are thinking right now. Noticing if the thoughts are fast or slow or jumbled or confetti all over the place. And just noticing thinking. Again, just that quick check in. What's going on right now? And then checking in with the emotions. What emotions might be present right now? Nothing to do or change or fix. Just simple awareness. What's here? And so then, as we begin to work with our breath, again, really respecting your body's needs, first and foremost. So, listening to how you're feeling over trying to make it be a particular way. So, as we begin, just kind of noticing your inhale and your exhale. Just feeling the rhythm of it. And starting to take your attention to that diaphragm. Sometimes it helps to almost feel that spot at the end of the sternum where the ribs meet, kind of as your starting point, following it back in, where you can feel the ribs kind of flaring out to the sides or down, that pulling down sensation with the inhale. So just really beginning to get aware of that diaphragm itself, what it feels like for you on that inhale and the exhale. For me, the strongest sensation is this really strong pulling down on the inhale and a floating back up with the exhale, almost like a trampoline, kind of pushes down and then it bounces back up. Just really paying attention to this muscle working right now as you breathe. And now I'm going to count, and we're going to try to pace the breath with the counting. Do maybe 5 or 6 rounds of it, and then take a break. And just play an experiment, see what it is like. So with your next inhale, see if you can inhale for a count of 4, and then exhale for a count of 4. So for me, that would look like a 1, 4, and then 1, 4. 4 at the top of the inhale, and then exhale. 4. So see if you can do that. I'm going to be quiet so I don't mess up your counting. But see if you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4 on the inhale, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the exhale. Noticing if you run out of breath on your inhaling, so you have to slow it down a little bit. Or if you have extra breath at the end of the exhale where you need to speed it up a little bit. But see if you can get that rhythm smooth. so that you can inhale for 4, exhale for 4. I'm going to do a round of 5 myself quietly. And if that is comfortable for you, play with extending it to a count of 6. Inhaling for 6, exhaling for 6. If that's right there at your edge, stay with the count of 4. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. And at the end of your next exhale, just letting the counting go, letting the breath go, letting the mind settle, just aware. You may notice stillness, or you may notice your mind jumping all over the place. It's simple awareness, just noticing what is. And then going back to the paced breathing, inhaling for a count of 4 or 6, whatever is your comfort. Exhaling for a count of 4 or 6. Keeping it nice and even. Even inhale and exhale, one flowing right into the next. And then at the end of your next exhale, just letting go of the counting, letting go of the breath, letting the mind settle, just awareness. And then from this place, again, checking in with where you're at right now, scanning through your body, noticing the sensations that are present. Noticing your thoughts, how you're thinking now in this moment. And then noticing your emotions. What emotions are present right here? And then taking all that awareness to the breath. As you inhale, expanding that awareness out, taking in your whole body. Exhaling, coming right back to the center point in your chest. That inhaling, expanding out, taking in the whole self. Exhaling, relaxing back to the center point. Taking a few more breaths. And when you feel ready, opening your eyes.